Welcome, everybody! NorCal Sports Network, and as promised, the San Diego Padres hat is on. This team is toast. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in, Lou. Guys, we're here right now, live on YouTube and X. Also shown on Spotify or heard on Spotify. What else are we on? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, just about any social media, Apple Podcast. Check us out, guys. Welcome in tonight. Giants lose. That's 9 hits and no runs in 2 games after scoring 13 and 17. And what do we say, Lou? They will be lucky to get 17 hits over their next 3 games. And they are right on pace. It might be 4 games. These guys, what does they say? A blind squirrel, even a blind squirrel gets the nut, and a clock is right, at least a broken clock's right twice a day. The Giants getting 13 runs, such an aberration.
It's like 2021.
Yeah, this team is, and oh, you know what? Do we have the tragic number update?
Yeah, we got 2. We got to go down 2.
The Braves won.
And the Mets.
And the Mets, everybody. Well, let's save it when we got 45 people in here right now. Let's build it up. Let's get that thing up to over 100 plus as normal. And,
Robert, what do you mean a tough stretch? Where have you? It's the whole year. It's been tough.
This is a bad team, Robert. You just gotta state the obvious. They're going to the. Robert says, "Why state the obvious?" Robert, the obvious is they're just not a good team. This is not a good team. Look who's playing second base tonight. One of the Walton brothers from the Walton Show. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Donovan. Yeah. And I see some stuff in the chat about Eldridge. Let's just get right to it, okay? Bryce Eldridge is promoted to AAA. One reason and one reason only, guys. The AA season ended. Don't get hyped up about Bryce Eldridge coming up to AAA, and he's going to start the season next year. I just bet Bora, who will be on later, he thinks he's going to start the season next year. No, he's not. You got to put him on the 40-man roster if you want to bring him up this year, which they're not going to do. Some people are saying, is he coming this year? No. Bryce Eldridge, they're not going to put him on the 40 because he's going to be on the 40 all year. You put him on the 40 when he's ready to be promoted to the big.
He's only in AA for less than 10 days.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? He's Roy Hobbs?
Yeah. This guy is not coming to the majors this year. He's not starting next year in AAA, in the big club. The only way Bryce Eldridge would do something like that is if he tore up the Arizona Fall League, came to camp as a non-roster invitee next year, and hit 450, 500, and was hitting bombs off big league pitching. Then they might look at that. But they're not going to do that. That is going to be a death sentence to this young kid's development if they push him too far. Aaron says, moving Eldridge through the ranks so fast in a down year is likely for the purpose of putting Farhan in a better light to give fans some optimism. Yeah, it's all selfish. It's selfish. It's all self-motivated by Farhan for his benefit. Look, Eldridge is going to AAA. I think they might be in the playoffs, AAA, Sacramento, and he's going to play a week or two in AAA, and then their season ends shortly. Their season ends in about a week, I think, doesn't it? AAA? Yeah, and then what? Oh, we're going to promote him to the big leagues? Give him a 40-man roster spot? That would be like, oh, wow, yeah, okay. How did that work with Wade Meckler? Come on. So let's get those. How we doing on the likes, guys? Let's see how the likes are. Hit those likes. Let's get those likes in early tonight. We've got how many likes? I gotta open up the phone because I can't see it in here. So we have. Why does it say? Aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Come on. So, Made Weckler. I like that, Joe Schmo. Made Weckler. That's great. MF. Baggerly and Pavlovich are full of it. Yes, you're right.
We've been saying that all year.
Oh, we
They're
got 13,
homers.
we got 13 likes. We got to get those likes up to like 40 right now. Everybody just go right back to your little thing. Hit the X over here. See your chat. See that little X right over there in this corner here. Hit the X and then go hit a like. There it is. I hit it. 18. Get those likes up there as we did last night. Help us out. Really, really appreciate it. Gets the channel out to more people, the videos, and we love it. We love it. So, guys, there's a lot I have to say about this club. Hold on here. Let me go back to check on the likes here. Come on. My thing is going slow here. Okay. There we go. So I just got to tell you guys that this club is a disaster. And I've got so much to say about it. And I want to get it out there. I want to put it out on Twitter. I need you guys to get this information out. I am so ticked off when I looked at the lineup tonight. And it goes back to having Ned on the other night. You remember, Lou, when I said about not playing the young guys?
Yep.
And they're not playing Luciano, Matos, and they don't even get to see what they can do. You don't even know.
How are you going to know what you have if you don't give them an opportunity?
And what
That's what Ned kept saying.
What did they do tonight?
Well, they didn't do anything. They bought Walton.
Yeah,
Donovan's been up in 2 years.
Think about that, Lou.
Can't hit a fly now. McCray played, but he probably injured himself. Did you see that in the wall in the ninth?
Yeah.
That's because I keep saying Duvall is not there. He got hammered again. Almost gave up another 2 runs. Gave up 1. His ERA in the second half is up to 9. Something is mentally wrong. Why do they keep pitching him?
Why do they platoon with 15 games left in the season? Donovan, Walton, and Wisely. I know Fitzgerald has a little back issue. Why is Luciano and they sent Matos back down? I can't stand this team. I cannot stand what they've done to the Giants. I can't stand it, Lou. Donovan Walton is lucky to play AAA ball.
Yeah, I can't remember him for the last 2 years. Why did they bring him up?
Gosh,
the thing is, what are they going to do? Wait until they're eliminated?
I don't know. In fact, you know what?
Because everything Farhan said from the trade deadline, I want to make sure we play the young guys. I make sure we do this, are all lies.
Yeah, all lies. The guy's Pinocchio. All right, here we go, guys. We are going to go to the tragic number for the Giants. We're really close to burying these bums. And let's change the tragic number. Let's get a little sound effect here. Let me get the sound up here.
And while he's doing that, of course, Spencer, I saw that. Chapman always comes up with a chance to do something special, and he does nothing. And it was a weak pop-up on the infield, and then he had the usual 2 strikeouts. He cannot hit in the clutch.
Nope.
Robert asked why we're so upset he signed for 6 years. Remember, he's 31 now. He's going to be 32 next April. he's going to be getting worse, 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 and worse.
So the magic number is 6 now, right?
Yeah. Because they lose and both teams in front of them that they have to catch one.
So we'll change it to 6. Oops.
The Giants are so exciting today. They were only 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Where's that laughter coming from? Is that you, Big Daddy?
That's the crowd.
Oh, I like it.
There's the tragic number, everybody. 6. They haven't played a meaningful game in almost 3 weeks. That's how sad this team is. So sad.
One good consistent thing is another 12 strikeouts.
Okay, guys, there you go. The tragic number, a combination of 6 more, and we're going to bury Farhan's butt in that casket right there. We're going to bury it. That clown, I'm going to put, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the biggest head of Farhan and stick it right up there at the top. And
There you go.
Big fat boiler sticking above. I'm going to lay him right in there. And then we're going to throw ashes on him. 4 days is in the coffin. And Mark Graves says, yep, it's coming, guys. It's coming in Baltimore. I told you it's coming in Baltimore. And we bring in, well, he'll bring himself in when he's ready. He's got to get himself ready. The kid who thinks Bryce Eldridge is starting next year in the big leagues.
Yeah.
We'll see if the kid if he'll bring himself in here as he does.
There he is.
Mm-hmm.
The kid. He thinks he's Bryce Eldridge's age roughly. He thinks he's coming in 2025.
$20, Dan. We're on for 20.
We're on.
Right?
You guys hear it, everybody? $20. And he didn't even give me any. I didn't even have to give him any odds. That's how great of a deal I got.
$20. $20 is $20.
So
$20.
Boris bet is he will be in the starting lineup next opening day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got $20. You want to? Let me give you my Venmo. You have it?
I have your Venmo.
Okay, just go ahead and send it now, Val.
I don't think so. I think we're gonna hold off on that for a little bit.
Just send it now. I can.
In your dreams.
Gas prices are a little lower right now, and I like to fill up the tank a little. Well, I have a 33-gallon tank in my truck, so it's kind of nice. But
no,
guys,
I just think I think there's a possibility. The big news of the day today is that he's getting called up to AAA.
We covered that. It's because the AA ended. That's all.
Exactly, but it's also just to see how he fares against AAA pitching at 19 years old. It's not just to get him a little more reps, because he's going to get all the reps in the Arizona Fall League and a bunch of other places that he plays. So it's to test him a little bit. But I do think there's a realistic possibility that he's on this team 2025. He's on the opening day roster.
Not opening day.
I think there's a possibility.
Pay me my $20. He's going to be up. He'll be up sometime late in the year.
Maybe if Farhan's not here, there's a chance. But you remember, he's going to be picking up all the veterans in the offseason, he stated.
You know what, Bora, what do you think of this? I am so ticked off at this team. I can't stand it. I really can't. What are they doing? Donovan Walton starting over Luciano. Like Donovan Walton, seriously, Donovan Walton, who doesn't even make most AAA teams, is starting over Luciano because you're facing Dylan Cease. And, let Luciano get up there and struggle if he's got to struggle. Who cares? How do you think he's going to learn to develop and see what he's got to do in the offseason if you don't play him. I don't know if this is Farhan or Melvin, but I'm getting a little tired of it. And I'll say this too about Buster Posey. I love Buster Posey. I got Buster sitting right here. My mom would be very upset with me right now, but I'm about ready to say something to Buster Posey. If Buster Posey cannot have Farhan fired, cannot convince ownership group that Farhan needs to go, then I'm sorry, he's not the baseball guy I think he is, because I believe Buster knows baseball. He grew up and played under Sabian, and he was under Bochy. He saw what men looked like. Now we got some wootsy little womanhood. I don't know what Farhan is. Running the show. He's got. He's definitely low on tea, and this guy is such a clown. You can't give me a man that's going to run this show, not some, clown that's bringing up Donovan Walton to start, and you send Matos down. Who started in left field tonight? Ramos? Yeah, Ramos.
McRae and Yaz.
And you know what? Sit Yaz's butt down. We already know what he can do. Put Matos in the lineup. For goodness sake, what the heck is this team doing?
This team, there's no direction, and I think it's fairly obvious how much the team values Matos and Luciano. It's obvious they don't value Luciano as this number one prospect he's been his whole career. And I mean, to be honest, I can see what they see in Luciano. Like, Luciano isn't too fast. He's athletic, but he doesn't look too athletic, and he hasn't performed in the big leagues. To me, it's looking a little bit like Elliot Ramos last year, just because Elliot Ramos had shown signs for the past 2 years, but he had never been given that full extended time of reps to be able to get comfortable. So I could definitely see next year Luciano starting out in AAA, and working his way up to the big league club and getting himself some reps and proving the doubters with those reps, just because he hasn't had that extended period of time to get comfortable, to get the reps, to get the at-bats, to see pitches. And it's frustrating because he's been your number one prospect for however many years. He's been your number one hitting prospect. He was signed at 16. He's been in the organization for how many years? And it's really tough to just watch what we're watching right now. And it's that he's not getting reps. Shot, oh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. He hasn't gotten a shot.
You got to give him 300 plus at bats.
You have to. And this is the problem with this organization, with this philosophy right now. Right now, it's a high ceiling, low floor team. That's what it is. It's just it's a team that wants to break even. They want to be a little. They're going for the wild card. That's where they're going for. They're not going for the division.
You said it's a high ceiling.
High ceiling, low floor. They're playing for that 82 and 82, or the 80, 81 and 81. They're not playing for the 90 and whatever, or they're not rebuilding.
Don't you think they have a low ceiling though?
I think they have a higher ceiling right now with Chapman, Yaz.
I don't.
Wade.
They're going to finish worse than last year.
They are. But I think the thing about the young kids, Matos, Luciano, Ramos before this year, who else am I missing? Meckler, if you want to include them. If you just throw them out to play there, there's a chance that they're great. And we see what we've seen gets projected onto the field, but there's also a chance that they're just not big league players. There's always a chance with prospects. Most prospects don't pan out. So I think this philosophy where you want to play the vets to be a little safer, that's if you're a postseason team, that's what you do. If you're a team that's in the postseason that is vying for that number 1 or number 2 seed, then I can see it. Yes, you want to go with the safer option. You want to go with the veterans, but you're not a postseason team. You haven't been for 2 years. You've been to the postseason one time in the last, 8 years,
Yep, 8 years.
Since 2016, you've been to the playoffs one time. And that was the fluke 2021 season. So it's not like you're in the playoffs every year. There's no reason to just keep on playing this game where you're trying to go for 81 and 81. You either go for it all or you just completely rebuild. And that's what they should have done this year. That's what they should have done last year, to be quite honest. You have Luciano, you have Matos, you had Ramos, you have McRae, you have Meckler, you have Eldridge coming up. Build these rookies together and build these young kids together and see what you have. And if you don't have anything, then you at least you know that you don't have it, and you can make moves in the future to supplement that. But right now, where's Luciano's position? I mean, he's playing second base. He doesn't look good at second. He hasn't been given a shot at first base. I think it's fairly obvious that Fitzgerald has taken his shortstop spot. Third base is occupied for the next 6 years.
Fitzgerald. I don't even like Fitzgerald.
I don't like him too much at shortstop either. But I mean, the thing with Luciano is you just haven't given him a shot. And you said you were going to give him a shot at the trade deadline, and then you set him down, and then you brought him back up as what it seemed to be you were going to play him for the rest of the year. But he's platooning with Donovan Walton. How old is Donovan Walton? I'm going to pull this up right here.
Does anybody care?
I just want to know. He's 30 years old. He's not even like
why
Brett
is he on the
Wisely,
team?
who's 22, I think. Why is he on this team? I guarantee you he is not on anybody else's major league roster.
He's not even on anybody's hardly AAA team.
No,
Let's be honest. This guy's a journeyman at best. Thomas B says Luciano isn't very good. He hasn't shown that he's very good, but he showed promise earlier in the year. I'll tell you what they've done. What do you guys think of this? Both you and Bora, you and Lou. Do you think Luciano's head's been messed up and he just feels like the confidence is shot?
Oh, for sure. It's not even
what do you
a
think,
question.
Lou?
Yeah, I mean, I just looked up. He hasn't even had 50 at-bats since Farhan, a.k.a. Pinocchio, said when he made the trade at the trade deadline that he was going to be getting starts.
He didn't get 50 at-bats.
I think right now, I looked at the starting lineup tonight. I think there's 4 guys that I want back. I think the Giants got to start doing this where either they tell these guys, DF the dead weight. I've been saying this for a month. These guys don't care. Wait a minute. I think I'll correct you on that because I've heard others chase, and I got to chastise this. I got to come back strong because as a guy who's played this game, and you played it too, Lou. I don't think that there's players in the big league on this team who are fighting to stay in the big leagues. I don't think they do not care. I think they care. I think Luciano, when we say he doesn't care, I've heard other people say that. Eric used to say it on this channel. Look, Luciano, just because a guy struggles does not mean he doesn't care, or just because he walks with a little bit of aloofness. Everybody's personality is different. Some people are fireballers. Some people are hold it in. I guarantee you Luciano is disgusted with his performance. He's embarrassed. And because he doesn't really speak English, he doesn't know how to carry himself and just say, I'm sorry. He
doesn't know how to connect with players.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to connect. And so he cares deeply. And for people to say he doesn't care, no way. He cares. The fact that he is struggling is tough on him. And these guys need encouragement. They need the Latin. That's why Wilmer Flores was so important in this clubhouse, is because he would come alongside these younger players, these Latin guys, and encourage them and help them. They have no veteran Latin player right now that is really been around for a while. So, I think, you look at Duvall last year, he was an all-star. They've screwed with him. He's had he's done it to himself. Yes, he's had some bad outings, but I would not give up on Duvall. I would have traded him still at the trade deadline because his value was higher. And now his value's gone down. And we'll take a look at the trade values coming up here in a little bit, because we're going to get to this Logan Webb thing. I am so frustrated with this because he had a great value at the break, and you're going to wear him out. Look, was I right about Jordan Hicks?
Yes,
You were.
Okay. I'm telling you, Logan Webb is going to wear his arm or shoulder out in the next year or two because he's throwing too many innings. He's already had Tommy John at one point when he was younger, and you are going to run him into the ground and his value is going to drop. They should consider trading him in the offseason for a star player.
At the very least, they need to shut him down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they're trying to get him his 200
innings.
Yeah,
they're going to try and get his 200 innings. Look, guys go down with shoulder issues all the time. You know, Hunter Green, elbow, Cincinnati. Kyle Harrison, shoulder. Who else just had a shoulder that's getting shut down? Somebody else in the big leagues just had a shoulder injury, a big time pitcher.
Right?
What team?
I'm trying to remember. Gosh, I saw it through the fantasy league and it popped up. But guys, when you just keep pitching and pitching and pitching, and these guys aren't used to, I think they're better off personally pitching on 4 days rest and just and going like 7+ innings. That's what the old guys used to do. But something's changed, and I don't know if it's the too much lifting weights or that their tendons are too tight.
I think it's drive line. That it's the drive line. It's the focus and emphasis on velocity rather than location. And actually, it's here's what it is. It's a bunch of throwing. It's not pitching. Dan, I had sent you that thing with Whit Merrifield.
Musgrove lost due to shoulder. Isn't he pitching this weekend though? Musgrove? I
have no clue.
I don't know. Someone else did a shoulder injury. Gosh. But guys, I would just move off of Webb just simply because you don't have any hitters. Unless you're able to go out and sign a couple of star hitters, if you're able to go get an Adames and a Anthony Santander or a Teoscar Hernandez, you need two of those three. One of them has to be Adames. And, as far as the whole Juan Soto thing, we'll get into that too, guys. The Juan Soto thing, how many people believe Juan Soto's really only 25? Raise your hand in the chat.
Okay, Dan.
I mean, right here, you
Dan.
two guys. Do you think? Right?
Yes, I think Juan Soto's 25.
I don't.
It isn't the Little League World Series here,
guys. Do you know how many people in the Dominican have a history?
Of course.
Of Albert Pujols, Julio Franco. Julio Franco played till he was 48 or 49 years old because after he retired, he said he totally lied about his age because he came up and they changed the stats. He said he was like 19 or something when he came up and he was really 23. Guys, the Dominican is a mess with birth certificates. And I'm telling you, Juan Soto, look at the dude and look at Ronald Acuna. Look at the faces.
Dan, people age differently. If you look at Bryce Eldridge, does he look 19? Does Bryce Eldridge look 19?
Well,
no, he doesn't.
He does.
Do you look at it? No, he does. I'm going to pull up a photo of Bryce Eldridge right now.
Yeah, take the mustache off. Shave his baby face.
No, with the mustache right now, with the beard, with everything, because he is.
Juan Soto's 28 or 29. I can just about guarantee it. He come up at 19 and started killing the ball like he did. No chance. Come on. I wasn't born yesterday. Look, does that look like the face of a 25-year-old? Look at the under the eyes, the crow's feet. Come on. There's no way Juan Soto's 25. He's not 25. Let me hold on here. Let me move this aside. Bora,
What?
how do I put you in the middle? No. Come on. How do we do that, Bora? How do I make you larger than life? Go ahead, Bora. Do that again.
I'm gonna try it.
All right.
Does that work?
Yeah. Put your face real close to camera. Look at those eyes. There's no wrinkles there, man. There's none. Look at
All
me,
right.
man.
Now look at Bryce Eldridge. Does Bryce Eldridge look 19? Let's be
Shave
honest.
that beard
Come on.
off. Yes.
You can't shave the beard off. You cannot shave. He does not look 19. He looks about 24.
No, shave the beard off, and he looks like
He
a
looks
kid.
older than Soto.
Thank you.
Come on, Lou. Supposed to help
He
game
looks
up.
older than Soto. He's got a full beard. Needs glasses.
Okay. Okay, Shane Company, I guarantee it. Come on. Soto is not 25. I would.
Dan, I'll put 20 on it.
Well, how are we going to find out? What are you going to do? Pay me
that? No,
pay
you're
me
just
in 15 years when he retires and admits that he's now 47. and you're going to give me $20 that's worthless because the US dollar is going to be worth nothing in that period of time. Rick, you don't like this hat? Then go tell Farhan to get some players and start winning, and I can put the other hats on.
Talking about Farhan, everything in my body tells me that he's not back next year. It's just I think
you're right.
To me, one thing I agree with. There have just been too many signs this year of little clues and hints by the front office, by the media, stories getting reported, little leaks. To me, there's just no way you can bring this guy back. The one thing that concerns me is Bryce Eldridge. Because, Dan, you and I were texting about this earlier. Lou, I'll ask you this. Where do you think Bryce Eldridge is going to be ranked among prospects at the start of the season next year?
Probably in the top 3 for us.
No, in all MLB.
In all of baseball?
Yeah.
Top 25, maybe?
Yeah, I think
19.
So.
I
top 20. I could see him being a top 10 prospect, but to me, Bryce Eldridge is the one thing that could keep Farhan here. Because if Bryce Eldridge pans out and he's this superstar that hits 40 homers a year and this perennial all-star, then Farhan's job is saved if he's still here.
Now, do you really think he's going to come up and hit 40 homers?
No, not next year, but I'm saying if he shows enough to the ownership within the next, I don't even know if it's possible. It's possible the ownership already made their mind and they're moving off of Farhan. I think that's the likely scenario. But them moving Bryce Eldridge up to AAA, to me, is interesting just because we know it's for the reps. It's for the extra, 7 days of reps. But it's also a little bit of a showcase. He's 19 years old, and it would be interesting to see how well he pans off against these AAA pitchers who a lot of them are highly touted prospects or fringe big leaguers. If he can have success in these next week or two in AAA, I think there's a possibility that Farhan persuades ownership into saying, this is my guy. I drafted him. Look how fast he's climbed through the system. Give me one more year. I can build around this guy. He can be a star. Just give me one more year. Now, all three of us, everybody in the chat, everybody who has a brain about baseball knows that Farhan should not be back and does not deserve the GM job or president of baseball operations. But Bryce Eldridge, to me, is the wild card, just because.
So you think that's his Hail Mary, huh?
Exactly. This is his last shot to be in charge.
Because you got to remember how great this class has been. This might be we might look back 5, 10, 20 years saying, my God, this was one of the best draft classes of all time.
It very much could be.
So what? You're going to wait for it to develop and you're going to go 3 more years for Farhan while all the other guys come up? And no way. Farhan's got to go. He's got to go. Buster Posey, I'm telling you, Buster Posey has got to prove to me that he's a real baseball man. And if he's a real baseball man, there's no way he wants Farhan running this ship.
Do we even know that Buster Posey has a say?
I've heard that he
does. I think he owns such a small percentage. He's a face. He's a name. He has nothing to do with. He
needs to convince them. Say, look, guys, I care about this team. I care about winning. I won 3 world championships. I know what it's like to play for a winner, and we need to get off of this guy. And if then he would be better off just coming out and saying, I tried, and they don't want to listen to me, so I'm going to go buy into the Dodgers.
I think analytics has ruined the Giants.
It's ruined them, yeah. Look at those wrinkles, guys. Come on, you guys. Can you guys see that?
That's called what happened being in New York. The pressure.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's called taking a lot of protein shakes and just doing a lot of things and supplements and just going all out.
98, you can see it right there, October 25th.
Do you buy that though?
Man, do you think in this day and age of social media and everything that would go unnoticed?
And New York, he would have never gotten through New York.
Guys, come on. Do I have to? Come on. You gonna make me bring up the evidence?
Dan, come on. There's no evidence.
No
this
evidence.
Is not true.
Ta-da. Another setup by Dan by his rookie helpers. Yeah. Set you guys up, man.
Wasn't he signed with Washington, I think, when he was 13 or 14?
Yeah, you think he was 13? He was 16 or he was 16. They said he was 13. Yeah, he was in diapers. Yeah, next he was in diapers.
No, I'm saying a scout noticed him. I don't think he played for Washington. I think when they won the World Series, supposedly he was just 18 or 19.
Let me ask you, where is Julio Franco from? What country?
I have no clue. I don't even know who that is.
DR. Dominican Republic.
He played until he was about 44.
Where's Albert Pujols from? Dominican Republic. Where's
Elliot Ramos from?
He is from Puerto Rico. Okay, so look at this. Watch this. Evan Drellich. He's a great author. Houston Astros. I tried to set up an interview with him at one point. Hey,
Ken
wait
Rosenthal,
a minute.
we all know.
Okay, here we go. Age and identity fraud among amateur baseball players in the Dominican Republic, once a major issue in the country, is on the rise again, according to executives and agents familiar with the sport's international signings. Teenagers who have already officially signed and others who have agreed to future deals may face Major League Baseball issued suspensions, disrupting both the young players' livelihoods and Major League Baseball teams' talent pipelines. This was written in January of this year. Okay. 15, 20 years ago, this was a huge problem with what was referred to as age gate. It's known that the president of baseball ops, so the GM of Miami, they tried to sign. I'll read you the quote later on. They tried to sign Pujols, and they said we knew his age was doctored, but we didn't care because we were going to just now the landscape has grown even more chaotic and uncertain, according to interviews with 17 industry officials, including front office executives and player agents who were granted an anonymity to speak freely about rule breaking. Deals that players had in place for the present signing period, which began January 15th, as well as a handshake agreement. Okay. Many teams, some of the players were eligible to be signed. I'm looking for one player who's drawing interest from the Red Sox is believed to have been more than 6 years older than he was presented as. executives and agents in the industry said. The player was previously not going to be eligible to be signed until 2026 when teams were told he would be 16 years old. See, his current age is now thought to be 21 years old, sources said. Okay. Look, guys, I can go on and on and on. This is a huge problem in the Dominican. It has been going on for years. Julio Franco, Miguel Tejada, who played for the A's, help me out, chat. You guys know some guys, all from the Dominican Republic. It's amazing. And Juan Soto, who happened to be this phenom at 19. Come on, how many guys at 19? Willie Mays didn't even do that. The say hey kid, you're going to tell me that Juan Soto is better than Willie Mays at 19? I don't think so.
Here, I got a list. You ready? David Ortiz. Sammy Sosa.
Yes, Sosa's one. Yes.
Pedro Martinez. Manny Ramirez. Juan Marichal. Guerrero. Vlad. Carlos Santana. Albert Beltran.
There's only
Luis
a few.
Castillo. Tatis. Juan Soto. Devers for Boston. Batista for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I don't know about all those guys. I just look at the eye test. I don't think Juan Soto. Bora, you're 20, right?
Azuna
19.
for Atlanta.
You're 19.
Mhm.
Okay. Duvall's not from. Is he from the Dominican?
Yep.
I don't think it's a problem with everyone, but there are a few. And Juan Soto to sign at 19 or to be playing in the World Series and being like one of the better players at 19, you just don't see that.
Dela Cruz.
I think he's 20. I think he's 3 or 4 years older than what he's presenting.
I don't
really
think
do.
so. I don't think so.
How do we do it? Do you know how to do a YouTube poll?
If you knew about this back in January, why is it coming up now?
Because I'm bringing it up.
Okay. So
No one else is bringing it up. I'm just saying, look, I don't think he looks 25 years old to me. I see a lot of 25-year-old kids that to me look, like 20 because I'm older. So it's hard for me to totally judge kids. But, well, I have how old's my daughter? Let's see, she's born in 99. My daughter's 25. Okay. One of my daughters is 25. One's 21. I got 21, 25, and then I got 2 kids in the 30s, mid 30s. I can tell by looking at Juan Soto's face that he does not look 25 to me. He's got too many wrinkles under the eyes. I mean,
Dan, I disagree.
It's okay. It's okay. I will convince you. And in 20 years, that $20 you're going to pay me is going to be worth 2 cents in the U.S. dollar, and I'll take it still.
I mean, he has no facial hair. 0.
Yeah, some people just can't have. Well, the Yankees, you can't.
I don't think he has though.
I don't know. I'm just looking at.
You looking for controversy?
I am. I'm looking for controversy. Let's see. Juan Soto. He looks closer to Aaron Judge's age. Look at those wrinkles under the eyes.
Aaron Judge is 27, isn't he?
Aaron Judge is like 32, I think. 31 to 32.
He's like 30, 31. Look at the wrinkles under the eyes. Let me see you again, Bora. Guys, see those wrinkles?
It's what happens when you play in the major leagues for the last 7 years.
Let me see your eyes, Bora. Come close.
Oh my god.
Are you upset because when you get older, you get the bags under the eyes? and he's starting to get him, and you assume he's old?
I didn't have. Hold on here. Let me find myself. I'll find me a picture at 25.
Oh
I got
my
one
God.
right here. Hold on.
All right, see ya. Hey, Bora, one thing I was sort of upset tonight, and it's probably not going to happen this series, but this bullshit.
All right, I found it.
With
I got myself
Tatis,
a picture.
when Tatis hit that homer, right? That went
Mhm.
about 485 feet. It was ridiculous.
Look, I got
The
a
next
picture.
time Webb came up, he tried, almost hit him again. Then he almost hit him again the third time. And then the reliever hit him in the eighth. What is wrong with these guys?
Oh man, I would pluck Chapman tomorrow if I was. They may wait till Sunday because they don't want to get.
I don't think there was any intent there. I think they were just trying to jam him and go inside.
Yeah,
but I mean,
there's
if you're trying to hit him, just hit him.
Because
I miss
he
that in
doesn't
baseball.
wear the elbow pad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take this out of the glass. I got a picture here, guys, when I'm 25.
How do we know this isn't you when you're 19?
Because I'm married in this picture,
Okay.
and I'm with my brothers, and I remember I'm with my grandmother.
Of course, you just got married. Everyone's younger. Once you get married, that's where you get old.
But I was married for a few years. Look at that. That's me in the tie. Well, we all got tie. That's me with the must. Well, my brother's got. That's me in the blue.
Yeah, but see, back then you had hair. How do we really know that's you?
Look at the eyes. Look at my eyes, guys.
How do we know that's you? You have hair.
That's me. What happened to the camera? That's me. Where'd you guys go? Oh, see? Look at that. Look at my eyes. There's no wrinkles at 25.
All right,
Telling
who else is 25 in the big leagues?
They have a lot better stuff now.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at my older brother. He's 5 years older than me. The one in the jacket there. See his eyes? Hold on.
I mean, people age differently.
See his
It's
eyes?
all genetics.
See his eyes? There's wrinkles. There's starting to be a little wrinkles in there. See it? Underneath the eyelid.
Good looking kid.
And then look at me. No wrinkles. Look at that. Look at the difference in the eyes.
I don't know. You have red eyes, lasers. That scares me.
Well, in that point, yeah, it's one of those, those old cameras.
Ah.
They weren't digital back then, man. That's over 40 years ago. Well, maybe not 40, almost 40. But see, my brother's got you start to develop, what do they call that? Like crow's feet or something?
Bags under your eyes. Lack of sleep, nourishment.
Eyes tell you everything. Soto is not that hairline. You see that hairline, Ryan? Yeah, that hairline was going. Look at it's going. There it is. My brother with the jacket, his is gone. His hair same as me, and the one in the middle, he's got all of his hair still.
All right, Dan. At last night's game, taking batting practice. It wasn't Bora, it was his twin that plays for the Golden State Warriors. How old do you think he is?
You're right, Mark. They're over here. But whatever under here, they're bags.
Yeah.
Crow's feet, yeah, they're like this when you see.
Who, the Pajemski guy?
Yeah.
That was today.
No, he had batting practice last night.
Was it? I thought it was tonight.
Nah. He was at the game. He was sitting behind. They only had like 8,000 people. He had front row seats.
He's
So
what,
he
like
was taking
20,
batting practice.
21, 22?
He's 20 years old.
Okay.
But I think you bring up a good point, Bora. It's all genetics. People look like, it's if you think you age, it's your hair. If you lose hair, it's all genetics.
Yeah, hair is genetics. It's true. I hear it comes from is it the mother's side or father's side? Whatever it is. Anyway, we'll move on to another topic. We covered the Bryce Eldridge. I think he gets we get to see him in AAA. I'm looking forward to him. Hope he plays in the Arizona Fall League. I'll definitely go down and watch him. And, maybe I'll try and reach out to him if I can, like I did with Matos.
And one thing you guys should point out, we've heard this before with Giants prospects. Remember that our farm system. I mean, I saw someone in the chat tonight said Von Brown hit a homer. I've been waiting for that guy for 10 years.
No, I don't. I agree that we've heard some hype around prospects. I mean, Christian Arroyo was one of them.
Arroyo, Harrison was the next.
Nothing like
Mad
this,
Bum.
though. Nothing like this. I truly think that Bryce Eldridge is he's going to be somebody to be doing this a year and change out of high school at 19 years old is, to me, is special. His swing, if you just look at his swing, he has a really nice swing, and that
Clark,
translates
real smooth from the left
exactly.
side.
I mean, to me, I personally, I really do think there's a realistic possibility of Eldridge being on the opening day roster. I do. If I can see it. He does decently well in AAA with these upcoming games where he's in. He plays in the fall league. He goes through his reps. He gains some weight in the off season. He goes into spring training. He's on the spring training roster. He plays really well, and they don't have a valid first baseman. Like, do we really think Wade is going to be on this team next year? I mean, he might be on the team, but he's not a starting first baseman. I don't want him back either.
Yeah.
Who's the 4 people you want back, Lou?
Yeah. Who are the 4?
No, I was of tonight's lineup.
No, who's the 4 you want back? You said on the team, or was it just from tonight's lineup?
Just tonight's lineup, since we played so many veterans.
You want Walton back? Okay, there's one.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Yaz, so I don't want Yaz back either. But here, I will tell you tonight's lineup who I would want back, and I would be happy. And we're not even talking about pitching. I would take
Mark Grace.
I would take. Well, we got Chapman that's already here. So Ramos, Chapman, Bailey, and McRae. I don't want Wisely back. That's it. Those are the 4.
Who are the 4? I was laughing. Chapman,
Ramos, Bailey, and McRae.
Okay, you want those 4 back. I'll tell you what.
Should we go through the entire Giants roster and see who we want?
Oh yeah, we've done that. And wait till I don't want the twin brothers anymore. I don't want the pitching. You know why? It doesn't do anything for us.
All right, let's go player by player. Tristan Beck, do we want him next year? I'll take him. I'd take him next year.
You need an arm. Okay, he's an arm.
Birdsong, yes.
Sure.
Bivens, I'd take him back.
Yeah.
Black, no.
He's too young to not give up on, though.
I mean, he can be in AAA, not on the active roster.
Oh, I thought you meant organization.
This is the 26th active man roster. Let's just go through who we want on the opening day roster next year.
All right. Black, I would not put him on the opening day, but I would try to trade him if I could.
Doval?
I don't want him back.
I would take Doval back.
I would take Doval back too.
It's only going to get worse.
The Doval thing's interesting because he was an all-star last year and he was one of the better relievers last year. But this year, to me, there's just something going on either mechanically or emotionally, mentally that I mean, he has too good of stuff to be this 5 ERA pitcher. He has
and Dan,
too
do you
good.
think it was my fault when I got kicked out of the game when I went up to him? Do you think that changed everything? When he gave up 4 runs in the top of the ninth?
Did that get his psyche going?
Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
You ruined him, Lou. It's your fault.
All right, Sean Jelly.
I think, boy, I think he's been spectacular this year. I'd love to have him again.
I think he's a valuable piece. He can go 1 inning. He can go 4 innings.
Who, Hudjelli?
Yeah.
Hudjelli,
as
Lowe's called him. Yeah, and then Miller, I guess. Yeah.
I like Miller.
Sure.
Got to tell him what his job is. I don't like him as an opener. I don't want him in the ninth, but I think,
I think he can develop into a late inning reliever because he has the stuff. But right now, he's more of like a 5-6 inning guy.
Yeah. All right. So what are you going to do with the Rogers? Is
I
it a
want them both
package deal?
gone.
See ya. Yeah, see ya.
Both?
Both of them. If you look at their stats are all right. To me, I don't trust Tyler Rogers in big situations.
I'd get rid of anybody over 31. Well, I guess with the exception of Chapman. If you're over 31, gone.
Landon Roop, I like him.
Sure.
Blake
Snell, he's going somewhere else.
Gone, yeah. Ryan Walker, yes.
You got to keep him.
Austin Warren.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, see ya. Webb, Dan, you say no. I say yeah.
I would trade him because I think you could get a lot for Webb right now.
But you got to have something when Snell walks.
Well, you can go out.
Are you going to would you get a comp pick for Snell if he signs?
I don't think so. I'm not sure because you gave up you're losing a draft. I'm not sure.
You already lost a draft pick.
Yeah. The only reason I would trade Webb, not because I dislike Webb. I like Webb. I think he's great to have. And he's a clubhouse guy. But Jared Ferguson, that's pretty funny. Over 31, that rules out Soto next year too. Yeah, exactly. Let me put my banner back up.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. The thing with Webb, to me, is you're going nowhere with this. The only way I keep Webb is if I'm able to sign a couple of free agents in the first part of when free agency opens. Don't stink and wait for the winter meetings to start in December. The free agency starts a few days after the World Series in early November.
Here, I'll tell you this. If Farhan is here 5 days after the Giants season ends, I think he's back.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to wait it out or to try to make a decision. If the decision has been made to fire Farhan, I think it has been, then he's out the day or two after.
I hope, you know what? If you really want to make an impact, this is what you do, guys. You show up to the ballpark on closing day, and you just the PA announcer. You get rid of the woman for the day, get a little tea in there, and thank you for coming to Oracle Park. This has been a tough season, but we thank you, San Francisco Giants fans, for joining. And we look forward to next year, the 2025 season, when you come back for opening day. And to kick off the 2025 season, the San Francisco Giants have fired President of Baseball Operations Farhan Zaidi, effective immediately. Thank you, and have a great off season, everybody. That's how you do it.
Hey, Bora, you remember last year they let Krappler go 1 week left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's a possibility they could do it before the last homestand?
If you want to...
If you want to get some news cycle going.
I mean, yeah, if you want to really kind of just go down on it and be like, this is unacceptable, you're getting canned before the season even ends. I mean, I could see it happening if they just completely eat it for the
When did Bobby Evans get let go? During the season or after the season ended in after the 20
I thought it was like right after
18
the trade deadline.
It was right after the 2018 season. And then they did a search.
Okay.
They did a search and hired Farhan in November.
On September 24th, 2018.
And then they hired Farhan when? Like November 1st? October
I think it was
28th?
like 6 weeks later. Larry Bear.
Yeah.
All right, we only went over the pitchers. I want to go over the rest of the players too.
November 6th.
Okay. So That would be around the timeline. We're coming up on September 24th in 11 days. You know what? Do one better. Fire him September 23rd.
Fire him tomorrow.
I would have. Did you hear me? I said fire him in September. I wanted to see what Melvin would do with the lineup back in August.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see how Melvin ran the team. I bet you it would be different. I bet you it would be different.
That's why that interview got leaked, I think. Right?
You don't tell me that Bob Melvin started Donovan Walton tonight. He probably turned around and said, "Hi, I'm Bob Melvin. Who are you?"
Just seeing Matos go down and Walton being called up. If ownership really cares, that should piss everybody off. That should piss the ownership off because you're not playing for anything for the rest of the season.
Look,
you're out of the playoffs. Over. Everybody knows it.
The tragic number. Remember the tragic number, guys? It's right there. It's at 6. The tragic number is at 6. And you're playing Donovan Walton instead of Marco Luciano. Okay, Donovan Walton probably won't be on this roster next year, even if he said, "I won't take anything. I'll play for free." Now, that might change ownership's mind, though. That they would probably say, "Yeah, we like that."
He's in his 4-year career. His 4-year career, he's batting a whopping 179 with 3 home runs.
Because the platoon rules everything. And I guarantee you, Bob Melvin did not put Donovan Walton in the starting lineup tonight, nor would he have he would have had Matos out there in left field. And he would have had Ramos in right and McRae in center. And he said, "Let's see what we got. We're playing for next year. We got to find out what you have."
What is the thought process here? No one's thinking. No one in this organization is a proactive thinker. Seriously. Does anybody look at Donovan Walton's stats and say, "Oh, this guy could really be something. He could be our everyday second baseman"? No.
I hate this team so bad, Bora.
That's why we got to get rid of the dead wood.
This is embarrassing.
It's all Farhan. You're bringing up
embarrassing.
Donovan Walton. Nothing to get personally against Donovan Walton, but he's not a Major League Baseball player. And you got Marco Luciano, who needs at bats. He needs reps. Who cares if Marco doesn't hit? He's got to see Major League pitching, because you know what guys do in the offseason? They learn and they go make adjustments. You know, Spencer Steer this year, I heard him on Major League Baseball radio during spring training. And you know what he said? He said, "Those 300 at-bats last year I got were very valuable because I went and made a bunch of adjustments." And the guy's got over 86 RBIs this year and 19 homers in his second year. You know what? Guys develop. It takes a while. Nobody comes up here and, no 19-year-old comes up here and tears the cover off the ball and takes baseball by storm, unless it's Juan Soto, who's 23. Now, he wasn't 19. All right. Anyway, move on. I'm not going to beat that dead horse.
Patrick Bailey. I mean,
he's got to come back.
Yeah, he's come back. Kirk Sally, see ya.
Yeah.
Mark Canha.
Bye-bye.
To me,
Bye-bye.
I actually kind of like Mark Canha as the 20
non-roster. Let him make the team.
I'm fine with Mark Canha as the 24th guy on the roster. Like the backup first baseman, backup right fielder.
Scroll over how old he is. February 15th, what?
1989.
How old is that? That's 1990 plus
35.
35?
Come on.
He as a bench bat, that's fine. If you're not platooning and if he's just
I'll keep him if he learns Spanish for the younger guys.
Matt Chapman's back. Tyler Fitzgerald's back. Mark, I don't even know what's going to happen with Luciano because they're not letting him play. He has no trade value. He could start off the season in AAA next year.
They're destroying this young man.
They are completely destroying him. Lamont Wade, see ya.
Bye.
Donovan Walton, see ya.
Yeah.
Brett Wisely,
AAA.
see ya.
Yeah.
Michael Conforto, see ya. Encarnacion.
I'm a see ya guy. I don't think the guy is going to he'll give you a good in spurts. He can't play every day.
I mean, he could be a bench bat though. He could be your
He
power
could
bench
he
bat.
could be. He could be. Maybe you know what?
Would you rather have him being young or
How old is he, by the way?
I think he's like 27 or 28.
Scroll over.
Okay. 97.
So he's
27?
Yeah.
And where's he born? Where's he from?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Is he from the Dominican?
Let's see. Dominican Republic.
I told you. I thought that guy
That's
looked
hilarious.
old. I'm
This is
serious. Does that guy
hilarious.
not look old to you? Tell me the truth. Pull him up again. Does
Oh
that dude
my
not look
God.
30 to you? Come on. Pull him up. I thought this guy looked old, man. How about so he's from the Dominican, and who's another 27-year-old on the roster?
Let's see. How old's Fitzgerald?
26.
And that's close enough.
He looks young.
He looks young.
Carson is 30. Okay, move on. Whatever.
Grant
He's not a difference maker. Okay.
yeah, Grant McCray.
I don't think he's ready to play it.
His strikeout rate's like over 40% right now.
I mean, is it serious over 40%? He's
Let's-
not ready.
Let's look. I'm gonna go to Fangraphs right now. We're gonna find this out.
Because you know what? I like the kid, but
He has tools. He has tools.
He has tools, but nobody has more strikeouts than Yaz. Yaz is like 1/3 of his at bats.
Right now, he has a 41.2
okay.
strikeout.
I'm
percentage.
sorry.
Yeah,
That's just not going to cut it. I mean, you're twice. Yeah, you're way over the major league average.
what's the major league like? 26,
25-ish.
Okay.
25, 26. Yeah.
Elliot Ramos is back next season.
Yeah.
Yaz,
Sure.
see ya. I mean,
been nice
He
knowing
made
you.
what, 10.2 million this year?
No, 8.
8.
That was
He's
at
gonna,
8.
he's gonna be up for 10, I think.
Yeah. What is
Does
Did he-
anybody give him 10? Like, if it's not the Giants, does any other
No.
team give him 10?
no. They give him like 5 to 7.
I think he's worth 8. He'll get 8.
What
But
tell
it's
me
going to be 1 to 2 years though, because he's old.
tell me, has he ever won the Willie Mack Award?
Yeah, we talked about this last night, Bora. Who do you think is going to win it?
This
Who is
year, it's going to be
has
Matt
Ye-
Chapman. It's
no?
Matt
Has
Chapman.
Yaz won it yet?
I don't know. How would we find that out?
Just I'll look it up. I'll look it up here. It's
It's the most inspirational player
Willie
voted by the
Yeah.
team.
Award winners. Okay, I got it.
2020. Mm-hmm.
Who won it?
Yaz, 2020.
Oh, so he's not going to get it then. Okay, I thought maybe he might get it this year if he hadn't
Kruger won
done
it
before.
twice.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to him twice. All right.
It's got to be Matt Chapman, right?
No.
See,
It's not the MVP of the team. It's most inspirational.
I mean, who else is inspirational on this team? Has Logan Webb won it?
No. Okay.
Could it be Ramos? It might be Ramos.
I've got the winners right here. You want to see them?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a rookie. All right. Started in 80, Jack Clark, Larry Herndon, Joe Morgan, Darrell Evans, Bob
There's my
Brenly,
boy.
Kruko 2 years in a row,
Yeah.
Spire, Uribe, Dave Dravecky. All right. That was the year. Oh, he had to
Yeah.
win it. Steve Bedrosian, Robbie Thompson, Mike Felder. Wow.
Tiny
Kurt
Felder.
Manwaring. Mark Leiter, Mark Caron, I can't remember. Sean Dunston, JT Snow, Jeff Kent, Marvin Bernard, Look at Bonds never won it. Barry Bonds never won. That tells you something right there, guys. It tells you a lot, in fact, because it's voted on by the teammates. Oh gosh. Yeah, Jeff Kent, Benito's, Burks, Bernard, Santiago, David Bell, Marquise Grissom, JT Snow a second time, Mike Matheny, Omar Vizquel, Benji Molina twice in a row, Matt Cain, Andres Torres, Ryan Vogelsong, Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, Mad Bum, Matt Duffy, Lopez, Brandon Crawford.
They both won it in 16.
Interesting. Nick Hundley, Will Smith, Kevin Pillar, even though he was only there for 2 or 3 months. Yaz, Lamont Wade, Wilmer Flores, Tyro Estrada.
Wade won it in 21.
Yep, that was the year late night Lamont.
And by the way, you guys haven't spoken. I know he wasn't on there, but Wilmer Flores, you don't want back, right, Bora?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I mean, what does he provide? He would be your backup DH / first baseman. No.
I think Logan
he's
Webb might
done.
get it. I think Logan Webb might get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's voted on by the team, and the fans have a vote. Who else would you? Logan Webb deserves it before Matt Chapman. There's no way Matt Chapman should. He's signed for 6 years. That he should get it the first year when Logan Webb's been, going through what he's been going through. How about anybody else?
Ryan Walker, maybe.
Yeah,
I could see Walker winning it.
Walker, Sean Jelly.
Mm-hmm. Most inspirational. Do they have anything inspiring on their team? I don't see anything inspiring though.
They don't play inspiring baseball.
There's nothing inspiring. Maybe in the clubhouse, but I don't see anything inspiring.
Ramos.
Did you hear what Mike Krukow said today on the broadcast?
What did he say
about Donovan Solano?
I wasn't listening all that much.
He said that.
Because he's playing with San Diego. I forgot.
Yeah, he just completely was gushing about Solano. He was like, "Oh, this guy's just a complete professional hitter. He's gonna be." He said something along the lines of like, if he was 60 years old, he could still hit a baseball, and that's true. Solano's just a professional hitter. What is he batting? He's hitting. This year, I think he's hitting like 289 or something.
You know what?
He's leading the Giants.
I mean, I kind
of like what this is saying here.
What?
288.
Ben Ramos. I think Ramos. That's pretty inspiring. He made the All-Star team and first homegrown guy in 194 years to make the All-Star team. I think I would give Ramos the Willie Mack Award. He's pretty inspiring. Look what he went through. That is inspiring. He was dogged. He was left for dead out in AAA.
He got out of the Farhan doghouse.
Yes. You know what? My vote right here, NorCal Sports Network. I will put the Giants hat on if they give it to Ramos.
Dan's vote is for Ramos. Dan's vote is for Ramos.
Thank you for getting that in, Blue. Did you beat the deadline?
I did. I put the word in for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Just as a reminder, when you're 25, you don't have very many wrinkles under your eyes.
Are you sure Ramos is how old he says he is?
He's from the Puerto Rico. He's fine.
Okay.
He's fine.
I'm going to bring up Donovan Solano's stats because it's just this is someone the Giants need on their team, and they don't have.
I like the color there. That's nice. Can we have more color like that? Fangraphs.
What do you mean? We had him for 2 years.
No, he should be on the team right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had him for 3 years. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, Miami. His first year in the big leagues. He's bats 295. He's at 249, 254, 189, 227, 330, 326, 280, 284,
He batted
282,
330
and
for us.
289.
He's the
That
type
is
of hitter
a
that the Giants
professional
needed.
hitter.
But Farhan, in his infinite wisdom, the clown, you know what? Let me just put that thing up there about Farhan in again. Low T Farhan is a joke. Low T. Hey. We're really trying to build a club that here, let me look like fire. We're really trying to build a club that has a better defense, and we're going to go with more veterans next year. We're really close. I've so had it with this clown. I mean, gosh, he pisses me off.
I mean, imagine if you had him and you actually traded for the best leadoff hitter in baseball, who's going to win the triple.
You could have had Arias. If I was
Mhm.
running the club, they would have had Arias. I guarantee it.
I mean, we looked at it the other day, the strikeout percentages on the
Do you
Giants.
see he has 182 at bats without a strikeout.
Arias, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hold
crazy.
on, I'll be right back.
Giants don't have anybody who could last 20 at bats.
No. And what's funny is can you look up the trade? They were talking about the other day to get him. San Diego gave their 25th prospect
to get Arias.
Yeah. What San Diego? I mean, it's unbelievable, and he's going to win. It'll be the first time he's going to win the batting average. 3 different teams, 3 different years.
Okay, the Miami Marlins or the Padres traded Woo Suck Go. Sorry, that's just.
Is that the prospect's name?
Yeah. I'm sorry for laughing, but Dylan Heedhead, Jacob Marcy, and Nathan Martorella. I don't know who any of these guys are.
Yeah.
And when you trade prospects for proven MLB talent, there's always a trade-off, and a lot of times the prospects don't pan out because a lot of prospects
more than 50% of the time.
Exactly, and a bunch of people will harp on Arias's defense or his like OPS or whatever, the advanced statistics with Arias. The bottom line is he gets on base. I mean,
he hits the ball.
He hits the ball, he gets on base, and he doesn't strike out.
Imagine if he was with us, like say batting 5th, our runners in scoring position, he probably would add a half run more a game.
Exactly. I mean,
just making contact.
Just by making contact. It's amazing what happens when you just put the bat on the ball and you put the ball in play. You learn this in Little League.
Yep.
You put the pressure on the defense. You see what they can do in tight situations. People are going to make errors. Errors are part of the game.
Yeah.
If you don't hit the ball, you're never going to find out.
Bora, did you see what the A's did the other night?
The 3 bunts
on 4 pitches, back to back to back.
And did you see the Astros defense? How they were just completely confused. They didn't know what hit them. Because you know what? That type of baseball is just out of the game right now. And I honestly think the A's have a better future than the Giants do.
They do.
They do. If you look at their prospects, if you look at their team and their construction, I really like their manager too. The what's his name? Kotsky.
Yeah, Kotsky, former Padre.
He the way he manages a game is just great.
And they were talking about that on the MLB Network. They're playing for a playoff position right now. Mm-hmm. They're the most scariest team. No one wants them. They have Miller that, who knows in the offseason. The other thing is I saw a stat. The Giants spent $262 million this year or $216 million?
Whatever it was, yeah.
The A's, $51 million.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what Farhan is for. Farhan is for the low revenue, the small market teams. He's for the Rays. He's for the Royals. He's for the A's. I mean, who else is a small market team? He's for the Marlins.
I mean, look at the Royals this year.
I mean, look at the Royals. Exactly. Farhan is not for the big market teams. He just does not fit in with San Francisco, and this has been a complete mistake. Have you guys seen the article? I don't know who it's by, but they go over how the Giants are going to be the future of baseball.
In 10 years, they'll have more money than the Yankees.
Exactly. Yeah, you've seen that.
We read that last night on air.
That's great. Because it's completely true. And if you're a Giants fan and you're like, you feel or you think that the Giants didn't have any part of moving the A's out, or the Giants could have done something. And to be quite frank, the Giants are happy that the A's are moving out because now they get all of San Francisco, all of Oakland, all of the East Bay, all of the North Bay. They get the whole Bay Area. They get all of Northern California. I mean, if you just look at the map, they have a lot of ground. And I mean, the Giants have the money to go after a Soto. They do. The problem is the guy in charge. And you cannot trust Farhan to get this done. Get a businessman in here. Get someone who can negotiate. Get someone with a personnel, player development, and scouting background in here immediately. And just let him work. Let him cook. Because Farhan is not cooking. Farhan doesn't cook.
I'm looking for, I can't find Larry Bear's business card. I have it somewhere. I'm going to call him on the show here tonight, and we're going to leave him a message. If I can find it, we will call Larry Bear, put him on speaker, and we'll leave him a message that we want Farhan fired and that I want to apply for the job. But I can't find his card. I'll be back. I'm going to find it. Stay tuned. If we find this card, we will call Larry Bear.
Make sure he's the age that he's also saying. You never know.
Yeah. I don't think he's from the Dominican.
We never know about him. Yeah, no, but I don't know. Because I think, we talked about this where the free agents class, it's Soto and then really everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And the second best player is a third baseman, which obviously we're not going to go after.
What third baseman? The Bregman?
Yeah. And then the third best prospect is playing for Arizona, but I think he's going to stay with Arizona.
Who? Walker?
Yeah. So you get to the point now where it's very slim. So really the only way is either we're going to have to stay with what we have, which we don't want because right away we're already giving up next year where we can't win the division. We're not a playoff team. Or we're going to have to trade some of the young guys.
Here's how I look at the offseason going. And if you're the Giants, if you're the front office, if you're Farhan, if he's still in charge, you just have to be completely honest with yourself. You are a fourth place team in this division. The Dodgers are better than you.
Yep.
The Padres are better than you.
Yep.
The D-backs are better than you.
And younger.
And it's not particularly close.
No.
So they're going to be getting better. And you have veterans on your team right now. You have Yaz. You have Conforto. You have Matt Chapman. You have Lamont Wade. You have a bunch of veterans who are old.
And
so
let me ask you a question.
You're not getting younger.
Chapman, would any of those guys be on any of those three teams?
They would be on the teams, but they would be bench bats. They would be in limited
They wouldn't be
roles.
starting. They'd be like 23rd, 24th player.
Exactly. And just looking at the offseason, you have to be realistic and you have to be open with yourself. You're not going to be unless you trade for a Guerrero and you sign a Soto and Eldridge is here and you sign a Snell back and you get some starting pitchers and you actually do a lot. You have to me, in order for the Giants to even have a run next year at the division, at the playoffs, at second place in the division, you have to have the best offseason in all of baseball. You have to blow everyone out of the water. You have to sign a Soto, you have to sign a Guerrero, you have to trade for Guerrero, you have to re-sign Snell, and you just have to have a lot more pieces than you have right now. You just have to. And there's there's a really big possibility that none of that happens. I think I mean, if we were to give odds on Soto, I don't even want to
Oh,
talk about it because I don't
1%.
exactly. And I don't know if you can trust Farhan to trade for a Guerrero. You just have to go young, in my opinion. You have to go young because you're not signing a Soto. You're not going to trade for a Guerrero. I don't think you're going to sign an Adames. I don't think you're going to sign a Christian Walker. I don't think you're going to sign a Corbin Burns. I
Nope.
think this roster, the heart of this roster, if you're looking at Ramos, he's back next year. Fitzgerald's back next year. Chapman's back next year. Lamont Wade might be back next year because he's still on arbitration, and I don't think he's going to be particularly expensive. Patrick Bailey's back next year. Logan Webb is probably going to be back next year. Dan doesn't like it, but Logan Webb's going to be back next year. Blake Snell is probably not going to be back next year unless you blow him away. He's not going to be back. Hayden Birdsong, he's going to be back. Kyle Harrison, he's going to be back. If you look at Carson Wisenhunt, I have no clue. He's been injured. I have no update on him. We don't know who he is. We don't know what he is. So Grant McCray is probably going to be back next year. Luis Matos is going to be on this team next year, whether it's in AAA or the big leagues. Marco Luciano is probably going to be back next year, whether it's in AAA or the big leagues. A lot of these guys are going to be back next year. The heart of your team, I think, is going to be back next year.
And that's still a fourth place team.
Exactly. There isn't a lot of moves that you can make to propel yourselves over Arizona, over San Diego, over the Dodgers. It's just not going to happen. So, Dan, you're completely right. It's a fourth place team, guys. Don't get your hopes up. It's a fourth place team. Even if they sign a Juan Soto and that's it, that's all they do, there's a good chance that this is a fourth place team next year because one guy is not going to be a difference maker. It's going to have to be an abundance of players. It's going to have to be changing the whole locker room.
What were the Angels the last few years with Shohei and Mike Trout?
Exactly. It's not just building around two players. It's how big is the 26-man roster, right?
Yep.
It's a 26-man roster. If you have Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Mike Trout on the team, but you have a bunch of Lamont Wades, a bunch of Tyro Estradas, a bunch of Donovan Waltons everywhere else, you're not a playoff team, guys. Sorry. You have to have a whole roster. I mean, if you look at every World Series winner, if you look at every playoff team for the past however many years you want to look at it, all the teams have a complete roster. You just have to have a complete roster. You can't have a couple of guys and then a bunch of nobodies. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Hey guys, we have 45 likes. Last night we got up to 65. 46 now. Go ahead and everybody just hit that little X button. See, here we are. We're live right here. We're watching. We got 46 likes. I want to see that thing get to, let's blow it up. Let's see if we can get to 75 tonight. 48, 49, boom. See? All it takes, just a little hit. But hit that. It really helps the, it pushes the channel out more. YouTube says, oh, people like this show, actually pushes it out, and then it grows. So, Kyle, I love it. He says, I like every time before I even start the show. Way to go, Kyle. Love
and
it.
then, Bora, here's the exciting news. I got a thing on Monday. My season tickets are $2,500 more next year.
Oh,
really? That's ridiculous.
Lou,
Now, remember, it's 81 games. I have 4 tickets, so you got to divide that. So it's 2,600.
Let me ask you.
4 divided by 81.
It's 500.
It's another $8 a ticket.
Oh, yeah. We did it. So check this out. How many people what restaurant can serve crap for food and service and have people come and show, and then they said, well, let's try it again. And you go back and everything, a few months later, it's like $10 more for the same thing. It's like, and it was crappy. And you're like, I don't think I'm going to keep trying this. This is not. How do the Giants end up raising price? They ought to, what showing the fans appreciation is? It says, look, guys, we didn't perform. We did a crappy job, and we don't expect you to have to pay for our crap. So we're going to lower our prices to show appreciation. We start winning again, they'll go up.
You got to remember, a couple of years ago, if you paid early, they at least gave you a free jersey. Now they just want the money.
Oh, free jersey.
Steven, we've talked about this before. I can't believe how many fans still go. Shock watching tonight. Bleachers are still packed because there's so many casual fans who go to the game.
Yeah.
If they're on, I forget when it was, but it's fading from my memory, but there was a while back this year where it was an exciting moment in the Giants game and no one was up. They were all in their seats. If you're in tune with the team, if you know baseball, you're up, you're excited, you're standing, you're yelling, you're cheering for your team. If you look at San Diego, if you look at New York,
places, it's like a Game 7 of the World Series.
And they're true baseball fans. They pay attention to the game. They know what's happening. They know baseball situations and scenarios. They know when to boo. They know when to cheer. This Giants fan base is just complete. It's just full of casuals. They just go to the game to get drunk and hang out. That's what it is. And they're willing to pay extra because it's a bunch of techies who have money. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it's been getting pretty bad. Like Milwaukee, they even Alex talked about it. They said they had 22,000 because that's tickets sold, but there might have been 8,000 if that.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they go off of tickets sold. They don't go paid attendance. Yeah. It's not.
I mean, if you go to any of these games, like even tonight's game, I looked yesterday for this weekend, and there's still probably 12,000 tickets on StubHub. People, that don't want to go.
If I'm Greg Johnson and I'm one of the owners and I actually have stake in this team and I see what this team has done this year and I see the amount of fans that still go to the game, I'm embarrassed because as an owner and as a businessman, right? You want to put your best product on the field. And I mean, it's crazy because they could go 82-80 and 81-80, 80-82 for 5 more years. And they're still going to be making money because they own the ballpark. They have Mission Rock. They have so much resources. Yeah. They're still going to be making money. So they're content with this right now. But I would be embarrassed just to see the product on the field. And the fan just does not. The fans do not care. That's what it is. Not enough fans care. Because if fans really cared, then they wouldn't be going to the game. The stadium would be completely empty. They wouldn't go on Friday night. They wouldn't go on Saturday night. They wouldn't go for the Sunday day game. It would be completely empty. And it's sad because they could just keep on banking on the casual fan who continues to go to the game.
Tonight was pretty bad. Bora, if you watch the game, there was probably, I'd say close to 40% were all Padre fans.
Really?
Jerseys everywhere.
I saw the bleachers were packed.
Let's go Padres.
That's embarrassing. I mean, when the Dodgers come to town, you see that it's 60% Dodgers fans.
Yeah, you remember that earlier this year they had 80% of the bleachers?
Exactly. All blue. All blue.
All blue. It was incredible. So, it's just unbelievable. And and when you look at next year, the opening days, a lousy opponent, I think it's Seattle. And, the only thing they got a break of where the Dodgers play on 2 weekends, and that's it. Is Dan still going down the yellow brick road?
Yes.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Anyway, little humor, inside humor. We'll bring you in on it later, Lou. But I am looking. I cannot find the home run. Maybe I can find it online. I was looking for it because I saw it earlier, but I will find it and I will show. We were talking about crowd getting excited, Bora.
What, the Aaron Judge home run?
No,
No, it was Soto. When Soto hit the homer in the 9th off the vault to tie the game.
No, I want to show you guys something that you're gonna just love. See if I can find it. I'm gonna get demonetized for this.
Is it? It's worth it though.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Bora. You talk about how crazy it is for the Padres down in San Diego. Except for the Dodgers, they're going to have the second most attendance this year. They average, I think the place is almost identical to Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 40,000. They have 30. They're averaging 37,900 people a game.
It's crazy. And I
it's
mean,
frenzy. And they're like the Giants. They're the only game in town.
If
No
you
more
look
Chargers.
at 5 years ago, just 5 years ago, this wasn't happening.
No.
AJ Preller is, in my opinion, one of the top 3 GMs in all of baseball.
He's done great. They've San Diego's happening.
He is
and when he got Soto, that's what sort of changed it. When he traded the prospects, he goes, "Guys, we're going to go for it."
Exactly. There's too much of bringing in players from opposing teams. At some point you gotta let your young guys develop. I mean, look at Jackson Merrill this year.
Yep.
He's played the entire year and he's going to win Rookie of the Year most likely. It's just AJ Preller is him and Andrew Friedman are probably the 2 best GMs in all of baseball. And the fact that they're in the National League West is going to be really tough for Giants fans and for the Giants organization. It's just, if you look at the amount of resources and players and talent that the Giants have compared to the Dodgers and Padres, I mean, not even the players, but look at the people, look at the coaching staff, and look at the front office. You're going to compare Andrew Friedman and AJ Preller to Farhan? That's who you're sending. That's who you're sending to fight against these guys.
You want to see some crowd, what people love in a crowd. You want to know what the Giants are missing in stardom? Let me show you something back in 2000.
When Bonds
2001 or 2. Bonds, watch the crowd for a visiting player. You want to see the difference between Yankee fans and casual fans? The casuals out at Oracle Park, what they've created, the wine sipping crowd now. Watch this, guys, and listen. Now, is that electric or what? That's, during the 10, 12, 14, even into 16, the crowds were electric at Oracle. They were juiced up. What winning baseball does. It's no fun to watch this club. Farhan has destroyed this franchise, guys. Low T Farhan is a joke. Look, guys, you need somebody with some kahunas, some balls, some big ones that can go out there and go toe-to-toe with Scott Boras. Not cave into Scott Boras and give him every guy you sign a opt-out and then come back 6 months later and he squeezes you for 6 years when he would have probably taken 4. I guarantee you, Farhan got taken twice.
Same thing when you go to Wrigley.
Yeah. Los went there along with Cliff Martinez from our chat and Aaron. And
I've gone numerous times. I mean, they
let's
ride
see.
me like, whew.
I think there was 4 of them. Who went? Aaron? Aaron, you went. Who else was with you? Los, Aaron, and Cliff. Oh, and Will. Will Martinez, the 2 Martinez brothers. Yeah. They both, all 4 of them went to Wrigley, and it was wild. Kyle McKeer. Yeah, Low T. That's Farhan. That's my new name for him. I just came up with another name for Low T or for
And
Farhan.
then here's the other thing.
We got Los D. We got Los D and Low T here on Norcal Sports.
That didn't make the playoffs are going to be better next year. You know, I mean, I'm looking like next year's schedule. We open up at Cincinnati and Houston. Pretty tough to open up there on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we come home for Seattle, Cincinnati. Then we go to New York for 3, Philly for 4. I mean, we'll be 2-8 to start out the season.
It is. Why haven't we heard a lot of boos? Why have there been no boos?
Too many casual fans. They're not hardcore fans.
Exactly. If this was
saw
New
what
York,
happened to Dan's buddy Lou when he got escorted out for complaining.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's the age we live in, the woke era now. You can't say anything. I was in Arizona on live doing a broadcast, doing play-by-play.
I remember.
And they told me to quiet down. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can yell at the top of my lungs, sit down, you bum. And they said, yes, that's fine. But I got to be careful. I can't talk about the game. I had some wacko commie over to my left, some lady. He's disturbing me. He's disturbing me. It's like, you know what, bag lady? I've had enough. I'm all I'm doing is sitting here, there's a drive, right field, I'm in my seat. And had some guys behind us one of the guys was a radio guy in Arizona, and he started doing the game. It's like unbelievable. I don't get it.
People are too focused on other people's business nowadays. It's just not enough people are just focused on themselves.
Jeez, it's like I felt like telling the lady, "Hey, go get another jab. Just leave me alone."
Go get your booster.
Yeah, go get your booster, lady. Shut up.
I don't know what we can do. But, we've been talking. We're going to be worse next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it probably was annoying to some people. But you know what? It's a baseball game. It was at the time, I think wasn't the roof open that day? I can't remember if the roof was open or not. But then I started doing it like this. Hey, is it okay if I talk like this? Yeah. So, okay, there's a swung on and miss. Strike 1.
Dan, have you seen this guy on Twitter?
Oh yeah, that guy's a clown.
Oh, he's so bad.
Garlic Fry, if you're listening,
man.
Garlic Fry, you might even be Giovanni. You are a clown, Garlic Fry. A absolute, you know what? I got a special song for you, Garlic Fry Rye on Twitter. This is for you, okay? Here we go. Garlic Fry Rye, who doesn't know a baseball from his own balls. I mean, the guy is clueless, absolutely clueless when it comes to baseball.
He doesn't know a thing.
Doesn't know things. I I had to block the guy because he was such a bamboozle. Loving Farhan. Give me a break. Yeah. I blocked the guy. Total knee pad wearing troll. Yeah. Garlic fry rye. There you go. Garlic fry. You're right up there with low T testosterone. There we go. Look, everybody says this about you, Garlic fry. You're getting some publicity. Nobody likes you that likes baseball. Okay. Go get your season tickets to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do you like the WNBA?
I like Caitlin Clark.
I like Caitlin Clark.
That's about it.
She's pretty good, but I couldn't go watch. Don't you want to see women's basketball like people playing above the rim? These people are 2 feet under the net. I mean, I'm 63 and I could probably get a little higher up on the glass than some of these people.
I'm not sure about that either. I got 20 saying I don't think you can.
Give me a springboard. No, I can't.
It's hard to watch because NBA, you have the greatest players in the world. It's slower.
I am not paying to go watch a WNBA game.
Well, you guys saw right now, everyone's bad mouthing Caitlin Clark, right?
What are they bad mouthing her for?
Well, because Taylor Swift told everybody they should vote for Kamala, and then Caitlin Clark said no. I don't think she'd be good to be making great decisions. You got to do for the president, so I'm going to vote for Trump. And of course, everyone's now saying no. Don't watch her, man. It's
good for her. Good
it's
for her.
Ridiculous.
Good for her. Good for Caitlin. I like Caitlin. The WNBA. Those girls are so dumb.
It's Caitlin Clark. We could go into this. I mean, I'm just going to keep it short. The WNBA had a golden opportunity to just build around Caitlin Clark. She was the number one pick. Everyone was talking about Caitlin Clark in the WNBA.
She's amazing
during the draft. She's amazing, and everybody just hates on her. Everybody, because they're so jealous.
Oh, you want me to tell you how I feel, Steven? He says, "Don't hold back." I can't stand the WNBA. I think it's like watching. I think boys high school men's high school basketball is much more entertaining because how do we get that back up there? No, Caitlin Clark though, she's a ball player. She can pass, she can dribble, she can shoot. She's tough. They're so stupid. The ladies in that league, they're smacking her around. She is the league. If she's hurt and gone, you have nothing. Forget your stinking anybody showing up to watch.
Forget private jets. You're back to flying commercial.
Yeah, you fly commercial. She is the league, and and part of it I think has to do with because she's white. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I'll tell you one thing, Dan. I don't know if you remember.
They're jealous. They're jealous of her.
Dan, do you remember Sacramento had a ladies team?
No.
And the first 2 years, they got about 8,000 because it was sort of new, something new, and then it folded.
Believe me, Lou, when I say I don't know anything about.
Well, are you aware that Warriors, they're going to have a team in San Francisco next year?
I heard that. That's why I said
it'll be good for about 2 years.
That's why I said go buy your season tickets.
Yeah, right.
Come on. I mean,
it's enough.
Geez, I just think the WNBA is a joke. I mean, and all if you talk to the men's guys, they're all propping it up like they love it. I guarantee you they're not watching games that Caitlin Clark's not playing in when they're at home with their families. Oh, let's pull up and watch the WNBA tonight. When they go to those games, they're putting it's because the NBA's pumping money into the league.
Of course,
if the NBA doesn't promote it, it's dead. Come on. Everybody goes to something. You pay with your entertainment for entertainment, and nobody wants to. I don't know. It'd be a toss up though. would I rather
Giants or WNBA?
WNBA? You got me there. I may lean a little. If I might even watch a WNBA game. I went to one WNBA game in Phoenix like 12 years ago. Hardly anybody in the place, and it's nothing but a. I better be careful. I don't want to get banned from YouTube, but I'll just say this. How can I put it? It was nothing but a bunch of a makeout session. I mean, it was just like
same sex girls. I got it.
Yeah. Let's be careful, but I don't want to get. But I was going to use.
There's no need to go into
another name, but whatever. It was just like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, serious? And then I realized, yeah, this is the league. Yeah. It's
they're trying to prop it up when it's just not good. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're just not good.
Stephen Trey says that would be entertaining. Yeah, but they were, unfortunately, some of them didn't look like women, and they weren't men.
Where do you think they're all from? Maybe their age.
Are they from the Dominican Republic?
Yeah.
Good one. Oh, there's a ball deep left field. Back. Whoa, there went the mic. Okay, hold on here. I got to play.
So, Dan, you saw the Oakland Ballers are in the playoffs.
Yeah, I got to catch a fly ball. I don't care about the Oakland Ballers.
Yeah, I mean, they're making such a big thing of them in Oakland. I mean, I can't name one player that is even on there. I don't even know if JT Snow's still coaching or he's involved, but, what are you going to do? But, yeah, I think, the thing with the Giants, like, why is tomorrow game at 6:00 at night? Why is the game not a 1:00 Saturday game?
Tomorrow?
Is it because they're scared of Cal football?
Well, maybe. Cal football, 2-0, baby.
Yeah. So I just don't understand the scheduling.
But Cal's at home tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Who they playing? San Diego State or who they playing?
It could be it. I'm not sure.
I got it right here. Let me. Oh, football. They better win. That's all I got to say. Don't.
Yeah, it's San Diego State.
Okay. I mean, do you think can you guys hear me okay? I'm back from the mic.
Yeah.
Do you think McRae is being played to showcase for an off-season trade?
He could be. I mean, I would like a defense, just from a defensive perspective, a defensive Lee, Ramos, and McRae, however you want to have, wherever anybody's playing. I mean, that's two really good center fielders, and Ramos, who can play center field. I don't think he's a good center fielder, but he's if you look at the analytics and the advanced statistics on his center field play, he hasn't been a good center fielder. But when he was in right field, he was one of the better right fielders in the league because he has a great arm. So he was, if you remember, there was that one day, or it was like two back-to-back games where he threw two consecutive runners out at second. I mean, if you can have an outfield of McRae, Lee, and Ramos from left to right, and I think if it's obvious McRae is never going to be a guy who's going to be a great hitter, just from the strikeout perspective and putting the ball in play. That's been a problem his whole career. If you look at his minor league statistics, he's a high strikeout guy. So there's nothing that tells me that's just going to change over one off season. But if he can be used in the 9 spot, in that double leadoff spot, and he can be used to be a bunter, to be a guy who can get on base sometimes and steal his way to second base, then he's valuable. I mean, we got to be realistic. Not every one of your players is going to be an above average offensive player. I mean, there are going to be some guys who are great on defense and okay on offense. There are going to be some guys who are great on offense and okay on defense. You got to find a balance. And I would much rather have an outfield of McRae, Lee, and Ramos than Yaz or Conforto back there. If those are your options, if that's who you're choosing from, go with the youth. Go with the guy who can actually steal bases, has a great arm in center, has a lot of range. And I mean, he's still young. What is he, like 24?
Yeah.
Who's that?
McRae?
I don't know. Where's he from?
I don't think he's from the Dominican Republic. Grant McRae's 23. He turns 24 in December. So, I mean, he has the tools. You can see the tools. He has power. He has a great arm. He has a lot of range. What are the 5 tools? It's fielding, throwing, hitting for power, hitting for average,
And speed.
He has 4 of the 5 tools. He just can't hit for contact. So if he can improve that a little bit, then I think he could be a good player. But Dan, going back to your question, is he being showcased? There's a possibility. If they're going to sign an outfielder, if they're looking to sign a Soto, and if they're going to go all in on a Soto, the outfield's pretty backed up. I mean, he has 4 out of the 5 tools. I bet he would get you something in return for a trade if you could package him with somebody else. I would, if we're looking at a Guerrero, I would be fine with trading Harrison, McRae, and a Wisenhunt. I don't know if that would get it done, but I would be fine with that because you've proven time after time that you're able to develop pitching. You've developed Webb, developed Harrison for the most part, Birdsong, Wisenhunt's who's gonna be coming up. You've proven that you can develop pitching, and your ballpark is better for pitching than hitting. It's just suited. You're not going to hit. If you have a bunch of average hitters, this is what happens. You're not a good offensive team in this ballpark. So, if you're going to need to trade for a superstar or trade or sign a Soto to even be an above average offensive team. So I would be okay with trading away a Harrison, Wisenhunt, and McRae if that is possible. I don't know what the trade package is going to look like for a Vlad.
What was the troll banner Mark was talking about?
It was the garlic fry rye. Clown.
Oh, is that still on there? Okay,
no, I got rid of it.
Okay, good. Thanks, Mark. The whole Soto talk. I mean, do you really? I mean, I know they're going to go for him, but don't you think? Isn't this like the boy who cried wolf long enough? I mean, that we're gonna
with Farhan, yes, with Farhan. But if somebody else comes in,
if somebody else is in, I would say the odds go up exponentially. But if Farhan is here, I just can't see it. I don't think you can have Farhan in the negotiations. You just can't have this clown speaking for you. Look, he doesn't speak with confidence.
He gets owned. He gets owned by Scott Boras. Every contract he's done with Scott Boras is backfired or hasn't been a good contract for the Giants.
He doesn't.
Carlos Correa, they had to back out of. Michael Conforto, he opted back in for $18 million. You're paying Michael Conforto $18 million
for part-time
work. This Matt Chapman deal put all the power in him. Blake Snell, it put all the power in Blake Snell. All these opt-outs, it doesn't give power to the team. It gives power to the player, because if they have a bad year, they can just opt right back in and play for $18 million. If Blake Snell had a bad year this year, he could have opted back in and played for $30 million. You would be paying
Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray's probably going to be opting in, so you get him for another 2 years at 25. So I think Robbie Ray is going to be coming back next year better than he's pitched this year. So he'll be a year removed from his Tommy John surgery. But I mean, Scott Boras, don't tell me that Farhan knows how to work contracts. That's Scott Boras just completely playing Farhan.
Right. Can you can we play a YouTube at all from
I don't think so.
95.7 the game?
I don't think we can play other YouTubes.
Other YouTubes?
If it's off Twitter, maybe.
This was a great 9-minute Joe Shasky ripping on Farhan. Man, I love when other people rip on Farhan because it makes me feel like I'm not the only one. How can I find something that is on Farhan that's not? Is it something else I could play it if it's not YouTube?
I have no clue. I think all I know is Twitter's okay, but I'm pretty sure YouTube isn't.
Okay.
While he's figuring that out, Bora, did you happen to hear Farhan on KMBR?
I didn't hear him. I heard what he said vaguely, but I didn't listen to him. No.
Okay.
Tell me what he said.
Well, they talked about the rumor about his contract, but as soon as he got off, Ray, Dan, who's the guy again? The guy that wears the sweaters, Ray, who fills in occasionally.
Ray Ratto.
Ray Ratto brought up the point. He goes, another year. This guy's had 6 years, and he's had one winning season. How is he still employed? I don't understand it. The team is worse. What they did for Farhan is they added another playoff position, and we still can't make it.
You can't even come close to making it. I told you they would finish in this third tier this year.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It's right there.
Did Cincy win or lose tonight?
They won.
Okay, so they're climbing.
They're half a game. They're half a game behind the Giants.
Okay, yes. Catch them.
Giants are 72-76. The Reds are 72-77.
Yes.
And the Pirates are 70-77. Pirates are a game and a half out.
Good. I want to see them both pass them. You get a better draft pick, guys. There's no honor in coming, in 10th place. It's better to come in 12th and get a better draft pick.
So there's 14 games left. If the Giants go 3-11, there's no way they can bring them back.
It should have no bearing. That's the
exactly. The decision
do,
should have been made already.
The decision should be made now. Look at where the Giants are at. They're 15 and a half out, and that's because the Dodgers lost. They're going to finish over 18 out. Let me show you the wild card. Who cares? I haven't even cared for weeks. When was the last meaningful game the Giants played in? When was it? 3 weeks ago? Where they were. Okay, look at the Giants. They're a half game, like you said, Bora. They're right now. The Mets are third, which would be 4, 5, 6. They're 6. Braves 7, Cubs 8, Cards 9, Giants 10. They're gonna finish in that third tier. I'm telling you, their schedule's it's brutal what they got to face. They'll be lucky to win a game against the Padres.
And you know what? I think Snell gets shut down. I think Webb gets shut down. Maybe not Snell, but I think Webb gets shut down.
You know what? If I was handling Snell, but I don't know if you can do this with the Players Association, probably cannot. I would go to Scott Boras and say, look, we want Blake Snell back. We're willing to offer you 5 years, 150.
What is that, 30 a year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Might not be enough.
But if you're not ready, if you really don't want to take it, we're going to shut Blake down for our own protection because if he comes back and pitches in a game and hurts his arm and has to have Tommy John or misses all of next year, we're on the hook for all $30 million. And we can't take that risk because seriously, you cannot take that risk because what would happen is if Blake Snell went out, that's one less big star you can't go sign because now you've got him for $30 million. I guess you could technically. You're just going to be well over the luxury tax next year. But to me, I would say I don't know if the Players Association could will let you get away with that, because if a guy's healthy, they can say, you're preventing me from, my future earnings by showcasing myself now. You know what I'm saying? He could come back and say, hey, I'm pitching for next year for my money.
I was looking at this the other day, and Dan, whenever I'm on next, we can take a look at this. This will be a little hint, but we can go through
let me answer Tommy real quick here.
All right.
No, Tommy, we're asleep. Okay, thanks.
We can look at the on what's that site? COTS baseball.
COTS salary, yeah.
We can just look at all the teams that could potentially be interested in Juan Soto, and we can look at their money on the books and off the books that come off for next year, because it's a little interesting.
Yes. That ticked me off when they swept the Rockies with 4, because I knew that was fool's gold. Man, it's so frustrating to be right about a crappy team, because you're right about it and that you have no power to make changes. I'm just a voice in the wilderness out here, I along with, some of you guys, many of you guys, and many of some of the other people, but I don't have I wish I could had the voice of the platform that, a Joe Shasky had or something. That's why we need those likes, guys. If we want to get Farhan out of here, I need to get those likes way up so this channel gets pushed out, so that when we do videos on Fire Farhan, it'll actually fire Farhan. I am an ambassador for the Giants fans, okay? Because you know what? I pretty much lost interest. I don't really care anymore. I'm serious. I don't care if they win right now, because they're not entertaining, and I've lost my joy, my affection, and love for the team, because the owners allowed Farhan to destroy it, and it's not worth my time. I did not watch all of tonight's game. I watched pieces of it. Baseball, the Giants are so boring. All you got to do is scroll through and to the action. And, I watched every game up until about a week ago, every pitch, every inning, but I don't care anymore. And why should I care if the Giants ownership doesn't care? Why should you care if the Giants ownership doesn't care? Why do we care? They don't care.
This ownership doesn't care. This ownership doesn't care about you guys.
They don't care. They don't care. It's just like when I tell you guys, politicians on both parties, they don't care. You think Washington, D.C. cares about the common person? No. Those guys go out to have dinner and laugh at the constituents, because they're like, man, I can't believe, hey, let's just keep arguing with each other and act like we hate each other while we just all, set our fortunes, and we'll just make a career here in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing gets done in Congress. Nothing gets done with the Giants. The Giants are like Washington, D.C. They got a bunch of milquetoast nobodies running the franchise. If what you want is an organization like the Dodgers. You want an organization like the Phillies, where the owner, and a guy like the Mets, who's passionate about winning, and he's willing to throw tons of his money out and say, you know what? I got so much money, it doesn't matter if I lose money. I want to win. And that's what you want. The Giants are sitting on, we read the article last night from Ann Killian. In 10 years, they're going to be richer than anybody in baseball.
They're sitting on a gold mine.
Unbelievable. And you know what? You would think that if they actually cared, they would want to just go out. You know what? There's no limit. There's not a hard cap like the NFL or NBA. Why don't we just go spend $400 million? You know what? Let's go get 5 freaking Hall of Famers in our lineup.
They could. They can. They choose
could.
not to.
They choose not to. Exactly. Why not do it? You know what? You have so much money. And they're so stupid. They don't realize that money, if they had 5 Hall of Famers and they signed them all, they would actually have
even more money.
Yeah, the jerseys, the stadium would look like San Diego. It would be 40,000 people, and lose tickets that went up $500 for this per ticket for a season would go up 1,000, and he would care less.
Exactly. I mean, ticket price would soar.
He would care less if he had something entertaining to watch. I guarantee you. How much your tickets, Will? I mean, Will, Lou. How much are your tickets for this year?
You paid 47.
47,000 for 4?
Yeah.
Okay. If the Dodgers flipped uniforms and put the same teams, they just flipped, and those tickets were 67, Will. Why do I keep saying Will? I'm thinking of Will Martinez earlier because I was mentioning him. Lou would be like 67,000 to watch this. Yeah, I'll do it because it's exciting and I can sell my tickets for the games I don't want to go to, and I'll get my money back. And when they get to the playoffs, I'll watch them at home and I'll sell my tickets and make my money up for the season. I mean, it's unbelievable the short-sightedness of this ownership group. You have a chance. They could have, but they don't have the right guy at the top. But you know what? To the owners have the right guy because Farhan is their whooping boy. He'll sit there and gladly take his paycheck and, be the brunt of jokes because he's laughing to the bank. And he's just like, I know I just got to act like I'm trying to make this team better. And if I can make it look like we're competing, and I'll just find these, bargain deals with guys, and the owners are like, yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. Look like we're competing, and we'll just, we'll get fans to show up for all this. And then, as long as we're not losing money, when it comes to revenue, as long as we're taking in more revenue than our expenses, we're happy.
They could have a 90 a team that loses 90 games and they would still be making money. That's how rich they are. That's how much real estate they own. They own their ballpark. They own everything. They could lose 90 games and they would still be making money.
Yeah, they don't care. I'm telling you, it's a front. It's just like I told you, I use the example of politicians, both parties. We're just the suckers. Okay, you're the suckers. That's why you have power. Don't show up. Don't show up when you and I'm not talking to Lou so much here because if I had those seats, I wouldn't give them up either, because once you give them up, they're gone. And I would keep those seats because those are prime seats. And one of these days, whether it's 2 years from now or 7 years from now, there's a cycle that will come back and they will get good again. But and the fact is, Lou's not fronting all the money. It's 25%. So it's not a big deal, because he's sharing that. And those are the best seats in the house right next to the dugout. So you're right, literally on the field. And so when I'm talking to the people that don't necessarily have season tickets that are showing up to the games and just keep coming to the games because they're cheap. And what you're doing when you're buying those tickets, you're feeding into what the Giants ownership hopes you do, is show up for their bargain basement prices.
Because you'll show up for the 2-for-1 deal, and you know what? Oh, you get hungry. You buy the crab sandwich worth $20. Oh, you buy a Tony's pizza for $20. Oh, you buy a beer for $12. You end up spending over $100 at the game.
Right. It's like Costco.
Exactly.
Like you go in for those free samples and all of a sudden you're walking out and you're spent $400.
I spent $300 at Costco today.
Exactly, man. Go in for that $1.50 hot dog. Why do you think they have that hot dog and a Pepsi for $1.50? You go in there and it's like, oh, I need to get something. Then you walk by something and they go, and they move everything around. So every time you go in there, you think something's in the same place. Why do they move it around? so that you find new items that you never saw before. And then you're buying it. So I'm talking to the fans that just go to games, you can watch it on TV. You know what? I mean, you know what? I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do, because if you want to go to a game, go to a game. It's your money. I'm just telling you that what you're doing is supporting a mediocre product, because as long as the Giants are making the money, they don't care. What will wake the Giants ownership up is if 411 people show up to the game and there's literally nobody there, and you can hear every pitch on the TV. You can hear what the fans are saying.
Or if fans start booing, if fans start booing the team.
Yeah. I actually think the A's fans are better than the Giants fans.
100%. It's not even close, because you know what? When John Fisher and when the A's ownership just completely quits on the team, you know what? The A's fans quit on the team too, and they stop supporting the team.
Yeah, and the Giants fans are suckers. They keep showing back up, showing back up. A's fans are smarter and are better fans than the Giants fans. The Giants fans are, I don't even know if all the people that show up to the park are Giants fans. They might just be,
they're just going out for drinks, going out to have a nice time.
Yeah. I would just walk away. Hey, you know what? I dropped crazy bread at Costco. I got an idea for Costco. I don't know why they don't do this. See, I come up with all these ideas that are moneymaker, those cakes, those big sheet cakes they pump out in the back in the bakery. Mm-hmm. You've had one for your birthday, right? Everybody gets a Costco cake. Awesome, right? But who can eat that lard for that whole cake, man? I used to have a birthday and you'd be eating that cake for 3 or 4 days because it was so addicting. How about if you put one of those, you cut that cake up? It's $15. It used to be. You could cut that thing into 40 squares, right? Instead of making $15 on the cake, sell each square for $1 at the food court. How many people would ask for a piece of cake? How much they would make so much? I just doubled their profit.
They're already making billions of dollars.
Yeah, but how many slices of cake could you sell? Instead of selling 10 cakes at just 10 cakes that's $150. And if you got 40 cakes, 400 slices, $400 to $150. See how you think?
Dan, I think your mind, since it's after midnight, has turned to mush.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because you know what?
It is.
I was born in the Dominican.
All right.
And I'm really not
older.
I'm really not
like me and Bora that are young. We're a little tired, so I think we should probably end this.
Yeah, I'm not really 63. I'm 74, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Dan, I'm ready to go to bed.
Me too. You know what? Hey, Chardal, you out there? You want to come run the show from now till 4 o'clock? We'll let you run it all by yourself.
3, 2, 1.
Come on, Chardal. Come on, Chardal. Come on. I'll bring him in like a puppy, and then when he comes in, I'll end it.
He's not watching. Chardal's asleep too.
Yeah. Is it really 12?
Yeah, it's 12:20. You went over the 2-hour mark.
I know. It was just, when there's 2 of you guys in here, I get a little
excited. I understand.
Yeah, I get a little bit more,
amped up.
Yeah. Final word, guys. Final word.
I don't have a final word. I've said all I can say. I don't need to put any more of my time and energy into this team.
Who was on KMBR last week? Chardal?
Oh, that's hilarious.
No way. That couldn't have happened. Oh my gosh. I got to go back and pull that. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, Lou, you have any thoughts? You got any?
Thank God, only 2 more weeks of this.
Isn't it bad? What are we going to do we're going to do 49er football, guys? If you want Giants baseball, I don't know who would.
You would do special shows after the World Series.
Yeah, we'll do
and once free agency starts.
We'll do some playoff stuff. We'll cover a little, but they'll be short. We got 49er stuff coming. What we got to looks like CMC may be out, maybe even for 3 or 4 games.
I think he's going to go on IR.
I would put him on IR. There's no way he's not going to. If he was in much pain yesterday, he shouldn't even be. He should
go on
be
the IR and then come back for the Sunday night game against Cowboys.
Yeah, or just you know what, let that thing rest. The only thing that lets a tendonitis is staying off of it.
Yep.
He should stay off of it for 4 weeks, see if it heals, and then start working out, and then get ready to play. But yeah, all right, guys. What do we? All right, let's get out of here. Let's get some music. Let's see. Where's my music? What kind of music do we want tonight? Do we want something different?
The quickest.
Yeah, the quickest. Whatever's the quickest.
What's this one? How about this one?
Perfect.
That one?
Perfect. There you go. Perfect.
There we go. Your Giants suck! All right, everybody. Back for more punishment tomorrow night. I don't know why we do this.
People asleep.
What's
People are
that?
more deranged than us.
Exactly. Hold on here. I gotta get this music off. Get out of here. Come on. There we go. All right, guys. Back tomorrow night. I don't know why, but we're back.
6 o'clock first pitch. So
Is it 6 o'clock? So we'll come on about 8:45. Not going late tomorrow, Saturday night. I have nothing to do tonight.
plus
See you
it'll be
guys.
tough. UFC tomorrow night.
Oh,
In
yeah.
this
We got
year.
college football. I'll be watching college football.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. You guys are the best, man. NorCal Sports Network chat, #1 chat out there. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.